Welcome everybody to Bitcoin Live on Sunday with our first show. With me today is George Boya, a famous crypto artist and NFT
Hello.
artist. It's good to have you back, George.
Good to be here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Nick.
It's good.
Bitcoin Live was always, the show that I used to from the beginning, presenting my art. And, I'm always happy to be here and always happy to see that you are active and doing stuff and building always something new.
Yeah, I think we're both building and creating. While we were in the bear market, we were talking about it before going live. But yeah, you've been at it for a very long time. You've been through a couple of cycles. You could say we're partners in crime.
Yeah, we are all.
So yeah, we've been through a couple of these runs and drops, and today we're here to talk about your most recent project that you've been engaged in, which is called Partners in Crime. And you put this really nice tweet out where you sort of run through, I think it's 14 different artworks, right?
Yeah. So far, it's there are 14 different partnerships, artworks, and it's a series that I came out with this idea at around the beginning of the year. I was a bit stuck in what I wanted to do and how I wanted to continue with my art, and I was thinking about a lot, and I went back, to the beginning of everything, and the excitement we had back at 2020, and also, the circumstances like we had the pandemic, so we couldn't, communicate in any other way. And we did a lot of collaborations back then. Two-person collaborations, or a lot of artists together, and somehow this was forgotten as we coming back to the real world and meeting each other, and other people getting into the scene with their own ideas, like curators or influencers or festivals or stuff like that. And there were a lot of collaborations back then with artists that we said we will do, but never managed to do something. And because I was studying again this stained glass technique that I'm using since my beginning of my artistic journey. First at analog in an analog way with scissors and paper and stuff like that, and now in a digital way, using only my iPad to make the art. Said to myself that since my art in a way it's like a collage coloring book. I mean, I make a frame and then I use photos to fill these different little frames. I said that I could do that. It might be interesting if I do this with another artist's work, something that I never done before. But all these years, I had the experience. I mean, I was experienced in finding patterns inside the photos and details that I could rearrange and make something new. So we started first with Daniela Atfield's art.
Yeah.
We had said that we will do a collab. She sent me an artwork that was more like a pattern artwork. And
I just opened your screen.
Yes. Let me find. Here I have a work in progress video to show a little bit how it is done. In a way, I used this artwork that you see, the main one, and started made a lot of copies of it and started rearranging it and filling all the little different frames inside.
Yeah, that's really nice. It looks a little bit like the princess of Star Wars. What's her, Layla?
Yeah. For the frames, I usually try to find something easy for the eye. I mean, it
Yeah.
might be something, a popular image or just a portrait or something, because all the art I will put inside it, it will make it very surreal. So I try to make a frame that it's as I said, easy for the eye and easily to understand what's happening. So I can have a balance in.
Yeah, I remember the series that you did with Tony Coroquer that was also really nice, where you sort of combined the surreal and the science fiction elements. And
Same philosophy, different technique.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about these different artists that you're working with. I mean, one of the amazing things about the crypto NFT space is, of course, the collaborations and how easy it is to reach out and to start a collaboration. And yeah, that makes it really exciting. But who are these artists that you're working with?
So far I worked with 14 artists. With Daniel Atfield, we made the first collaboration. Then with WG Meets, he's an OG, he's well known. I always wanted to do a collaboration with Randy because his art is full of patterns. You can see it behind me.
Yeah.
And it was like ready for my ready for my project. And he happily agreed, and he gave me the art to create this, and it came out really good in my opinion. We both loved it, and then with Andres del,
And why the name Partners in Crime?
Well, I was thinking a lot about the name. Actually, I did a new contract for all this series. So I was thinking about the name very much. And I liked it, the Partners in Crime, because, it's like two people that are making the crime and they're, sharing the spoils later, because this is what we are doing. And also, I liked it because, the ticker name, it's PIC, because of Partners in Crime.
Yeah.
It was a fun name. I think it's appropriate to the series.
And they look really nice, really colorful. I mean, I like your style. I got some of your NFTs, and I'm very proud and happy to hold them. And yeah, I mean, you have a very unique style, and I love it. And I'm really happy that you're still around creating stuff. I know.
I will be.
I do know a lot of NFT artists out there are struggling and sometimes are very frustrated with the space. I actually just had like a sort of conversation with Gary Cartledge, well-known NFT artist, who is kind of sort of frustrated with what's happening in the space, which I can totally understand with the PFP projects, but also the intermediaries stepping back in, and it's all about the money and the fame, and we're sort of making the same mistakes all over again. So how do you view that, and what can people do about it, or how can they cope?
Look, Nick, I'm working as an artist for for 20 years. I mean, for 15 years, I didn't have any sales. I couldn't provide for myself through art. I was working and working and working. And what else can you do? I mean, I understand that people are struggling a lot, and I always say that man, continue like that. I mean, what can you do? I mean, if you are an artist, you do art. If you did it just to make some money, then go to somewhere else. Uh, I don't know what to say anymore about advice to the people. I'm doing it because I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you just
And
love doing it.
yeah, because this is what I will do. This is what my weekend will be. This is what my vacation will be. My Christmas, stuff like that. I
But
mean,
do you still believe in sort of like the dream or the ideal of sort of the original intent, sort of how it was sold to us? I personally I still believe in it, but I totally understand the critics have good points, right?
what was the dream? Let's start with that question.
Well, the dream was sort of for everybody to be able to collaborate, to level the playing field, to get rid of the intermediaries.
Oh, to get rid of the intermediate. That's a nice dream. But as you can see, the space came full of intermediates. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not it's not the same thing. Who brought them in our dream? Maybe we brought them ourselves in a way.
yeah, yeah. The nightmares they come back in, you know.
Look, I had a conversation with a curator a few months ago when I was doing an artwork, and at some point we're talking about the cut, how much they will take out of the exhibition that they were doing, and he said to me that they want to take 55%. And I said to him that 55% isn't it a lot? And answered that, oh,
Yeah,
George, this is what the galleries are taking. And that I felt very sad after that conversation. I mean, I'm still sad after this conversation because, as you said, the dream was that we will be doing art without any middlemen and intermediates and stuff like that. And after 4 years, we came to the point that the other guy saying that we'll take 50% because this is what galleries are taking. I mean, what
but that's
exactly?
but sort of the Partners in Crime series is something that you set up yourself with
Yeah,
fellow artists,
yeah.
and it is still possible to sort of skip the whole intermediary
But
part,
this is
right?
why
If you wanna, if you
this
want
is
to.
this is why I did it, man. I mean,
Yeah,
you skip everything else and post my art, and I chose the cult crypto art space in foundation to choose it because they are my people, people that I love, and also because they only take 5%
yeah, yeah, yeah.
out of it. I mean,
And
yeah. But that was the idea, and to sort of kind of take the power to us. I mean,
yeah.
even in these collabs, we are splitting 50-50. I mean, at the end.
And do you also? I also know a lot of NFT artists are also, yeah, some are actually suffering, right, by not making sales
Yeah,
because of the market cycle. That's basically my take, right? We
yeah,
go through
yeah.
cycles, and we had a really rough bear market,
That's true.
not
That's
only
true.
in crypto but like in the world, to be honest. And people are being squeezed, so there's very little excess capital to throw around. Many people are actually struggling to keep their head above water at all. So do you also think that was part of why the NFTs went down and why NFT artists are struggling and sometimes complaining, rightly so? But do you also see that change, or
Change, you mean for the better?
yeah,
Look, I don't know. I cannot speculate. At some point, it will be a change for the better, but I don't know for who it will be a change for the better. I mean, to see a change for the better, the first thing that we must do is to be here. If we are not here, will not to see a change for the even if it comes. That's why I said just be here. I mean, just post in Twitter. I mean, but it's very rough, man. Very rough. Because you see, if it was a job, there is. I don't think there is no other job that in a way your you can see your antagonist sales every day passing in front of you in any shape, any form, any price, everything, anything. Uh, it can make people very sad and disappointed
Yeah.
because it's very it's rough. It's rough. It's not
Yeah.
that we are doing the same job, and I know that you are having some sales, but I don't know what exactly and how exactly you are doing it. This is crypto Twitter. You are seeing it right in your face when you wake up in the morning. So I don't know. We must start not paying so much attention to stuff. Maybe mute some stuff that we don't want, to see. Just do our work, and I don't know because you know I think after all this experience of 4 years, I don't think that the most important thing is the art. I think the most important thing is the interaction with the community.
Yeah.
That's why you see some weird stuff from times to times, because this is what counts the most.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
be in touch with the community, to be, a part of it, to have a saying to say. I don't
Yeah.
know.
To sort of build that network and to keep it alive and to keep it
To keep
healthy.
it alive and to be there, to
Yeah.
be there.
Sort of when things change for the better, then it can blossom like a seed, planting a seed, sort of.
Yeah, yeah, in a way, but sometimes it comes out in a natural way. You have your friends, you want to
Yeah.
see what they are doing, and you want to be there. I think the shift was after the pandemic, the the first 2 years was all about interacting in a digital space. All of
Yeah.
us were a bit of the same. But after the world opened up again, and the festivals, the meetings, the stuff, the things changed because some people are better in communication than
Yeah.
others. So art is also communication, but talking is also communication, and it's more
Yeah.
effective sometimes. And
Yeah.
you know,
I guess you have to cultivate the community and the network of people that you are with, right? You have to keep it healthy and alive, like you mentioned.
yeah,
And I think you're right. With COVID, things were very different because everybody was online,
yeah,
so everybody was sort of reaching out and connecting. And then
exactly,
as it
exactly.
changed, most people went to their normal daily activities, and of course the market then also tanked. So, and then you have to sort of uh, do more to keep things going as they were, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think there was some sort of equality back then that no, there is not. I don't think if it is time, but back then you couldn't have all the information you have now about someone else. You didn't know if it was a guy, a girl, how old
Yeah.
she was, what this, what that, and kind of all, just, we're just focused in our art and, at the interactions of the art and of the space.
So there was sort of like an automatic sense of community.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's gone now, or more difficult to sort of find.
I don't know. Now there are a lot of circles in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still in the circle I was with the same people more or less. Some are coming, some are going, but and in the cult crypto art, we are more or less the same people that were active since 2020.
Well,
But
that's also interesting, right? So you don't see a lot of new people entering the space. Do you think that will change if sort of market conditions improve, or?
I think they're coming, Nick, but they're not exactly in the same circle maybe that we are. I mean,
Yeah,
I see a lot of new artists and artists that I don't know, but they have a circle of their own. Maybe they have their own communities. They
their
have
own bubble.
collectors that support them and stuff like that. And sometimes how can I have the idea what's happening?
Yeah, of course. It's difficult sometimes to reach over to different communities who are sort of engaged
Yeah,
in their own activities. Yeah,
yeah. There is no reason. Also, I mean,
yeah,
it's okay.
yeah. That's true. And they might also have a different set of values or perspectives on things. As they enter at a different stage,
Mhm.
uh, and they might have to go through a whole cycle in order to uh, to be
Yeah,
where we are.
maybe it's a little bit weird that people are coming together the date they came into the
Wow.
space. In a way, they are the people that are still together because they were started at 20 or 19, and then 21, and then
Yeah.
22. There are other circles of artists and stuff like that. And
So tell me more about Partners of Crime. Where do you want to take it? Are there more artists coming? I think you hinted that this is just sort of the start, right? Or
Yeah. I want to go with the series kind of indefinitely to see what it will happen through the years. Now, just the beginning, but I feel that maybe after 1 2 years, when the art is really a lot. I mean, 70, maybe 100 pieces. Maybe uh, then we'll see it from a different point of of,
yeah,
uh, of view. Maybe then we'll see other patterns coming out. I think now it's only the beginning, but I like it. I like that the art is coming out good. I mean.
yeah.
Some artworks I like them personally more than the others, but that's just my opinion. In general, all of them are have their own beauty, and I like it because it's the beauty of the other artist, the other collaborator. I mean, I'm just making the choices, nothing else.
They bring something new to the table and add to
Yeah,
the overall. Yeah.
exactly. And
So and
for me, it's a way to never get bored
yeah, and
by,
I think
by doing the same thing.
one of the things that's sort of very prevalent in your work is, of course, the glass painting
Yeah.
style that you have, and those sort of glass paintings in the cathedrals,
Mhm.
and of course, Greece is also very famous for that. Is when you build that whole collage of all those different colors, and in this case, all those different artists, you can sort of bring together in sort of um, an overall
Yeah,
collage.
yeah.
Uh, that would be really nice to
I
put
have
all.
I have that in mind at some
Yeah,
point, and other stuff I could do with that. I could do also some special editions for something, an event, or some sort of charity and stuff like that. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities, and this is what I like, man, because it's hard to get to have a theme, an ongoing theme.
yeah, and,
In
and I think it fits
your
really nicely, and it also fits
yeah,
the idea of sort of building a community, because I think those colored glass pieces are basically, when you put all those different colors together, you get white light, like you get like one community, like one sense of community. So you
yeah,
bring it
yeah,
all. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a really Really cool idea, by the way.
I like it too. I think it's
Yeah.
sometimes, Nick. I mean, in art, say what we are doing. I have a friend. He's not an artist, but he was always critiquing my art about, not taking it in some sort of next levels, like putting fires or lightnings or special effects or some sort of stuff.
Utility.
Yeah, this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But I'm thinking that you are taking things further when you are believing in something higher than yourself. I mean, this is what art is about: doing something and believe that I'm doing something for the whole world, something that I will leave like a legacy behind, maybe in a lot of years after people will see this large series of all the artists that passed through this scene and the choices I made through their art and created something new. I don't know. It's that's art. It's not lightnings and fires and special effects and.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think that's really important, and that's also I think the value of people like yourself in the community that sort of bring everybody together and create these new projects. I mean, Patrick Amadon is also doing something along those lines, right? Sort of bringing all those different artists together in sort of like a common project, and shining the light also on all these different people who are also
Yeah,
working and trying to get seen, because that's difficult, right? Trying to get seen, especially if the market conditions are bad and there's so much.
yeah. That's true. But I see a trend. So I name it trend. It's not a good word, but anyway, of artists trying to do something totally on their own,
Yeah.
involving their artists. Like Griff with the Saga World, where he's doing fantasy and sci-fi exhibitions with other artists and bringing them together, the theme and stuff like that. And
and that,
seeing
and that's also the strength, right, of the NFT crypto art space, is sort of it's so easy to create a
yes,
communal.
it's the strength of the digital world because in a way I remember I wanted to do a lot of collaborations before the NFTs, but I didn't do any because you have to meet the other artists, work together, do all that stuff. And with the digital world, it was simple. You send something, you talk, you send something back, stuff like that, and it is since we can do it, why don't do it?
And well, and to shift gears a little bit, but it's related. It's like there's a lot of turmoil in the world, and you're in Greece, right? So Greece is pretty in the middle of all this stuff. I can imagine also for especially for artists who are usually a little bit more sensitive than most people to all the suffering and misery and stuff that's going on in the world. That it's also hard to to keep the juices flowing and to stay creative and to stay positive and to. Can you tell us a little bit about how you deal with that and how you see it and how things are in Greece?
They're not good. That's for sure. They are terrible. People are struggling a lot with the prices. The prices are rising all the time. The inflation, or what they are calling as inflation, I don't know what exactly it's.
It means they're rising less fast. They're still rising, but
I think they are stealing from us,
yeah,
just like that. You know, just like that. And there are a lot of double standards. We see them all the time here. The people in general are suffering. About my art, I used to do more political art back 10 years ago, critiquing stuff, events happening with money, with the European Union, with Greece, with everything. But I don't do that anymore. I prefer to be disengaged from what is happening. Of course, I'm talking about it all the time. But I leave my art out of this. It's the first time I see something so terrible. There are really no jobs to do. I mean,
Yeah,
except
I was sort of doing a little bit of research for this conversation, and I came also across this news, which sort of escaped my attention, but somebody brought it to my notice. Is that Greece
yeah,
became the first
that one. Yes,
yeah,
yes, that one.
first European country to impose a 6-day
Exactly,
work week.
exactly, exactly. Do you know what this prime minister says now? After all the headlines, all this, he says that it's not a 6 day work; it's 5 day with an extra day. Right? Now you got it, man. Now you got it. It's hypocrisy. It's unbelievable. This is what is happening when the balance is lost. This person, this guy, in general, not
Yeah.
his party, this guy in general, destroyed all the opposition, everything, everyone, destroyed them all. Character assassination, everything you can imagine. Destroyed all the opposition, and now they are ruling supreme. They are doing everything they like. A few days ago, minister was hitting a guy at the airport, a clerk in the airport because he lost his flight.
Yeah.
He hit him because he lost his flight. He's a minister. He hit him. He hit the clerk because he lost his flight. It was
Wow.
his mistake. His minister, he was late. He was saying to him, "Stop the plane to get on."
Wow.
He didn't stop the plane to get on. Can you believe that stuff? I mean, these are
Yeah.
not.
They rule like kings.
They rule like kings, exactly, in this country. In the other countries, they are saying, "Oh, we are the lesser evil. You must choose us." It's okay. We are evil. We are assholes, but the other are more assholes.
Yeah.
Another
So
flag.
because I think right now you're being ruled by the New Democracy Party, right?
Yeah, the right-wing party.
Yeah, and they destroyed Syriza, I guess, or what's left
They
about
destroyed
Syriza.
all the left parties. They destroyed them.
And well, sort of that ties into maybe a little bit a bigger picture is like when you look at Europe at the moment. I mean, sort of the same thing happened in Holland, of course, with the right wing taking over, which is a complete mess at the moment. And basically, we have the head of the Secret Service, sort of being prime minister of the country.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah,
nice person for the job.
yeah, it's a very interesting choice. But in France, you see the same thing, right, with the
Yeah,
elections right
yeah,
now,
exactly.
and I think Germany too. So, how do you see that landscape evolve, and what do you think it means or
Very
signifies?
black, very black, very black, very black, very dark. I don't know. I think I'm alone. I'm thinking that I can always, move to another country outside. I mean, Europe and stuff like that. Some Southeast Asia, somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere there, far away. I don't understand what they are doing. I'm old. I mean, I'm 48 years old. I lived in the 90s. I remember, the dreams about the European Union, what it will be. We're thinking that we are, we had higher values from the other people, let's say the Americans, for example. And we did movies, beautiful movies. You remember that Kieslowski movies,
Yeah,
blue, white, red, about European Union and about. But these were other people.
yeah.
I think other people dreamed all this idea, and then other people came and they fucked this idea just like that. There is nothing. There is nothing. I mean,
But you also mentioned that you did political inspired art before, and that you sort of criticized the European Union. So what did you think was wrong with it? And do you think that that might have led to where we are now?
There was no real unification, man. I was saw it in the crisis. There was a veil of unification because of the common currency. After my experience with crypto, I must say that it was a good idea, the common currency. But you cannot have unification if you don't have understanding between the people. So that was the problem, because when the crisis started in 2010, some leaders of countries came out and say, "Oh, look at the Greeks; they were not working, and this is what happened to them." What do you mean we were not working? I was working 12 hours.
Yeah, I think you guys are familiar with Jeroen Dijsselbloem, right?
Of course. And other people, and that was a huge stab in everyone's back, because when you start saying this about these people, then you can say it about the other people, and then you can say it about the other people, and then it's like opening the Pandora's box, and then every seed came out, and this was ongoing, because before all this, I never consider myself saying something about seriously about some other people in other countries. I mean, say, "Oh, these are like that. Oh, these are like this," or at least our leader saying something like that. It was unbelievable, blaming the people. You knew that there was an elite there that wasted all that money. I mean.
Yeah, and that was in every country. It was the same thing, and I think that the design of the euro was flawed from the start, right? So it sort of
It was.
yeah, it was mostly in favor of Germany from the get-go.
Maybe we are doing better job in unify Europe through the digital space, and understanding, that we have some differences, but we have a lot of things in common. I mean, the NFTs did this work very good, because let's say in the festivals where maybe 20, 30 people partying, and everyone is from a different country, and everyone can party. Everyone has a common language, and common interests also, which is important, and common interests. So we have this layer of positivity that help us understand each other, and if there are differences, you kind of see them a little bit, say okay, but you see the common stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and then I think that's something that we should cherish and that we should focus on. And I think many of the other things like adoption or price. I mean, it's important too, but that's not the most important thing to focus on. It's like you said, it's like community and creativity and unity within the space, like to keep it from fragmenting and infighting and tribalism and all that kind of stuff is kind of it's kind of silly and self-destructive.
Yeah, great. Okay, there will be some negativity from time to time, but it's important everything to happen. Maybe there are some bad apples that you have to away. You cannot take it in a positive way. You must take them in a negative. But still, there is this layer of positivity that still exists. There are artists who are leaving, the space, as you said, but they were just passing by. I mean, who said that everyone who will come will stay forever?
Well, I'm glad you're still around and making.
I'm still around.
It's good to see you again, and I also know that you're a big June fan, and I know this is totally off topic, and but I also know it sort of inspires your work. So so my question for you is, what did you think about the June series?
The Dune movie.
Yeah.
I like them. They were very beautiful as spectacle. I cannot say that it was not exactly what I expected, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't. I didn't understood it. Maybe
But
it was.
the new movies are like there are two movies, of course, but they're also very different, right? The first movie is very different from the second movie, and there will be a third movie, which I'm really excited about because
Me
that
too,
will
me
be
too.
completely new. But do you think they're both sort of not what you expected, or was like one better than the other, or how do you see that?
I see them both under the same light. Okay, the second was better because it had a lot of action.
Hmm.
I like that they took some things a step further, like the political stuff. That was important. I don't have something to say about the content of the movie. I
Hmm.
just didn't like the rhythm of the movie. This is what it was not like. When you create something you want it to be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I have the Lord of the Rings in my mind, and the Lord
So
of the Rings was like very epic, and it was taking you inside the movie, and it was doing something, and the tune felt a little bit like a lot of video clips together. I don't know. It didn't have the climax at the end. You didn't feel something epic. I don't know. Maybe it was the director's idea to
so
do it.
you miss sort of the arc, the story arc.
Yeah, I didn't felt like had some
And and are you sort of
uh,
comparing it to the classic of David Lynch? Because I really loved the classic version
Me
too.
too, me too, me too. I like it too, but it suffered a lot. I mean, in the content thing, I think it was less than these movies. I think these movies did better work in translating Frank Herbert's work to the cinema. That's true. I just didn't like the rhythm of the movie
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much. And, this
yeah,
is my.
yeah.
I'm waiting too for the third part. I think it will be more interesting than the second one, and more political, and it has a lot to say about the current events that are happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was something that I really liked about the second part. That he really sort of very sneakily put in a sort of references to what's going on. For example, in the Middle East, right? I mean, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He didn't sneak them in because they were there. Because when Frank Herbert was writing that stuff, these things were happening
yeah,
back then. But it was a coincidence, and I thought about it a lot too. I mean, seeing the one side with improvised weaponry, with only the
guerrilla
current stuff
tactics.
like that, the other side with superior, arms. And I mean, it was obvious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was very obvious, and it's very obvious what might happen.
But it's also very interesting because, and of course, like you said, it was already in the book, so it's not like he had to transform it in any way. But the nice things from the book and from this movie and the timing of the movie is, of course, that it flips the good guy and the bad guy because you're actually rooting for the guerrilla forces and they are fighting these overpowered adversaries. So it's kind of interesting that it flips the narrative, the official narrative, on its head, right? So it's that's kind of interesting from the movie. And
Well, the official narrative, the narrative for the one side, it's official.
yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. And well, to tie it a little bit back to Greece, Greece is also sort of suffering from the geopolitical tensions,
Yeah,
also
yeah.
because of its location and its geography. It's basically like what's the maritime gateway to Europe, or between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. So how do you view that? Like, I mean, you live there. Is that, do you see like heightened tensions with Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, like all that kind of stuff? Is that, and Iran? Like how?
People, are taking sides a lot about this stuff. For me, I wish that, especially in the Russian-Ukraine war, I didn't want our country to take a side. I think it was a mistake. First of all, because Greeks were living for thousands of years in
Yeah,
that area, in Ukraine, and we had Greeks there, and they were abandoned by our government because they decided to take the other side and stuff like that. And I think that if Greece had another leadership back then, maybe it was better if they will pursue to open, a humanitarian road and, do something positive with what happened there, because we had interest. No one else had so many people there in that area. We could
yeah,
have asked to stay neutral and open a humanitarian road and try to help people instead of sending weapons because it is a profitable business. But
yeah.
this is what the administration chose to, send weapons and take money and then do I don't know what with.
And you basically also have like a huge refugee crisis there. I mean, you really have it very tough in Greece, right? I mean, even from the southern countries, Greece is, I think,
I don't know, man.
very
It's
tough.
it's tough for the refugees. For us, it's
Yeah,
not tough. I mean, no one is, thinking about these people that have to, pass the sea and stuff like that to get here and then go to camps and do nothing. I think I have a friend. She's working for the Save the Children organization or something like that. I'm not sure about. The refugee children. Is conducting interviews through various camps to make a report about how is the life of a child in the refugee camps. And they're very negative. I mean, all the children, their basic problem is boredom. They are not doing anything. They are just staying, like prisoners in a camp,
yeah.
not doing anything.
No
What will
perspective.
happen at the end? What do you think will happen at the end with the children?
Yeah,
Maybe they will become criminals. It's
yeah,
the logical, without education, without hobbies, without nothing to do.
yeah,
What they will do at the end? I mean, our way of dealing with the refugee crisis makes the refugee crisis worse.
yeah.
What else to say? I mean, but Nick, it's happening with everything. I mean, what can you expect of, the European Union? Nothing, man, at all. Nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing.
And apart from, of course, the wildfires in Greece, sorry, I was just doing a lot of research, and it's
Only,
like one thing
you
after
find
the
only negative stuff, nothing positive.
other. Oh my
Exactly.
God, I was just browsing, and I saw like here, like, oh my. You were mentioning at the beginning, like before we went on air, like how warm you got it over there. I hope it's not from the wildfires, but
It is from the climate. The climate is changing.
yeah,
It becomes more tropical, man. It has heat waves that last for long. That's a problem. I mean, if you have a heat wave, in the past we also have had heat waves that was maybe 42, 44, but it was for a day or two.
yeah,
Now, if this happens and lasts 10 days, the next summer maybe it will last 15 days. In 10 summers from now, maybe it will be all summer. So how will you will live with 40 They will say again, you will be guaranteed again in your houses. Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe maybe we will find the digital world again, Nick.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I got one last question because I do have a couple of people working in Holland. Some of my colleagues, and so we talk about all these kinds of stuff. But they also mentioned that they have like very strict hate speech laws in Greece. I had no idea, but do you know anything about that?
Yeah, there are. I don't know, man. Some things are ridiculous, some are serious. Because in the last 5 years we have this government, this right-wing government,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the COVID and all that, this change, this big change that is happening, they are all about the communication stuff because they are not doing anything. They're just communicating stuff, and they are all on the TV or sites and stuff like that. And there are.
So you're basically saying that they don't want to fix it or they can't fix it, so they
Well,
fix
they're just
communication
words.
about
They
it.
are just words. I mean, if
Yeah.
you are just words, at
Yeah.
some point you will discover this whole thing with the hate speech. I mean, if you say to a politician in Twitter that you are an asshole, it's hate speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically to silence opposition about all
Exactly.
yeah.
You are
Yeah,
taking something and you are using it for your own advantage. Let's say you'll say that he's an asshole, and the next day the journalist that is getting paid from this politician will say that's violence.
yeah.
That's violence. It was violence against that politician. And the same politician can the other day hit someone in the face, and it's the same thing. Words, deeds, they're all violence and stuff like that. And
Yeah, because
have a narrative, and they are trying to,
because this is also happening in Ireland, and that's sort of why I was surprised that it already happened in Greece, and I didn't know anything about it. But the punishments are like, so I'll just read it. Greece has reformed its legislation a while back, by I think 2014, on hate speech by adopting law 4285/2014. This law prohibits hate speech against people based on sexual orientation and gender identity for the first time. Persons found guilty may face up to 3 years imprisonment and a fine of up to 20,000. And then you have also anti-discrimination law that bolsters the country's decades-old hate crime legislation, imposing 3-year prison terms and fines between 38,000 and 125,000. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but these are all bullshit, man. That's the thing. This is not something that you're protecting the vulnerable people for that. It's just a weapon that you will use for your advantage if you are powerful, just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that's also why I want to bring it up because
I will tell you something that you will not find it to read it. A month ago, a girl around 25 years old went to a police station at night with a friend. He had a friend also, friend. And she said to the officer, who was also a woman there, that my ex-boyfriend is under my house and I'm afraid. He said he will kill me and what I will do. And she said to her, what do you want me to do? Said the officer, the police officer. And she said, can you, call a police car to take me to my home because I'm afraid, stuff like that. And she said to her, I cannot call a police car. You will call the police car. The emergency. You will call the emergency line for a police car. And she goes outside. She calls the emergency line. The guy in the emergency line said to her that, girl, police cars are not taxis to, just send them to take you home. And after 2 minutes of talking, the ex-boyfriend is coming and kills her.
Wow.
Kills her while she was talking on the phone with the emergency line, with a guy who was saying to her that the police car is not a taxi.
Wow.
Can you imagine that, man? She died in front of the police station. In front of the police. This is what is happening in Greece now. This is what nothing. I mean nothing. There is no police. There is nothing at all. It's just you are and try to do the best with yourself. Then there is a sort of oligarchy that doing everything they like. They have the police as their private army, the private guards. Each politician have 25, 30 policemen for them, for the wives, for their daughter, for their friends, We have one of the largest police forces in Europe, according to our population, I mean. And there is no police to, help you in a difficult situation because they have them all as bodyguards and stuff like that.
So they're basically plundering Greece and protecting.
Yeah, they're plundering everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the girl died in front of the police? Can you what? Tell me if this happened in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, what will happen, man? Here, nothing happened.
Yeah.
No one was punished.
It's insane.
The next day, they were all around the the TV stations, just doing damage control. All of
them. Silencing the opposition.
Silencing everything. Everyone who was saying that we do not have a police, we don't have anything. We are afraid. We are unbelievable stuff.
So to sort of end on a more positive note, do you see some like a change in the society that they're sort of fed up with this and that they're trying to fight back, or what do you see as a positive counterweight to all of this?
Positive, yes. So I will be a little negative again. Sorry. But, as I'm thinking for years now, and as I'm seeing happening, the only way to see something positive is to see something very negative before. That's it. I don't know what the negative thing will be. It will be a war, it will be destruction, it will be, I don't know what it will be, but it is obvious that things are not changing in any other way. It's very obvious.
Yeah, I do agree with you that I think like this it's like a pendulum, right? We had like left and now we're swinging to the right, and both extremes are not really helping solve anything. We actually have to go back to the center and actually for people to get involved again, right? Sort of like the civil society needs to get involved and organize themselves and push back again, because it comes from the top. It's the system that's corrupt. Yeah,
it's the head of the system that it's totally corrupted everywhere. I don't think anything. Because they are the Greeks, but they're in the other countries also, man. I mean, it's not only a Greek problem. It's everywhere. They're all the same. Just actors, getting on stage, doing their thing, and then no questions, nothing. Okay, everything is cool. You are asking them stuff. I mean, the politicians, they're saying, "Oh, I was not there to see."
Yeah, it's not my.
Never ask you if you were there, but your role is no. I mean, what do you mean you are not there in front of this to?
Yeah, sort of like they push all the responsibility on the public, all the negative, and all the good stuff they claim for their own.
Exactly. Yeah. But when you say it is sick, it's because the head of the West is sick.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why we're all sick.
Yeah, and you know, my personal take is that they are sick because of the system is actually rewarding bad behavior, right? It's the fiat system that is rewarding their behavior. It's
Yeah.
and that's my take, but I agree, right? Something has to break before people wake up and organize and, you know, start pushing back. And I do see the pushback coming, so that's good. But when you hear these kind of stories, it's really it's good to talk about it. And I'm glad you were on the show to talk about it. And
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad too. But you know, the best thing that we can do at this point is to survive, man. I mean,
yeah, and of course make art, right?
and make art, make art.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course, of
yeah.
course. Art, survive, and there will be a time for heroes.
Yeah, you know, that brings out the best and the worst in people, right? These times you get the heroes and the villains, and I agree. We have to struggle and survive and continue and try to do the good thing. And art helps us cope in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
Art helps, you know, to escape this, and you know, when I'm working on my iPad, I'm very happy because I feel very safe because I have only this. I'm, you know, standing, and I'm in my world, and everything is fine there.
yeah, I think it helps transmute the negative into the positive, and you know, so let's end with your new series, Partners
Yeah,
in Crime, Big.
yeah.
Which is a collaboration between many different artists and yourself, and I can't wait to see the final result once you are done. But I think that will take a while because, as I hear you, you will collect a lot of these pieces and grow
We'll do
collaboration.
presentations, you know, from time to time, you know, to see how things are going.
Yeah,
All the new art and all that stuff. And
and then
I'm all,
hopefully when it's finished, the world will be a better place, and then we can look
all
and celebrate the good.
yeah.
So, George, I want to thank you very much for this really interesting conversation. We went all over from positive to negative, from politics to art, and everything in between. Where can people find you? Is there anything else that you want to share before I let you go?
Well, in Twitter in general or in cult crypto art with like-minded people, colleagues, friends, etc. I will be here for sure.
Yeah, and then we'll link it all down below on our YouTube page for people to find you in case they're watching on YouTube, of course. Well, you know, I can't wait till the next conversation, and of course also for the next June movie. And then, you know, after it comes out, we will definitely talk about it and give us our opinion.
For sure, for sure.
And in the meantime, I wish you and everybody who's watching a very nice Sunday, and we'll see you soon. Take
Thank
care.
you. Have a nice Sunday.